If you ever drive through Highway 66 in Nevada late at night, locals say there's one rule you should never break. Never stop for the woman in white. Truck drivers who travel that road often talk about the same strange encounter. Around 2:45 a.m., when the highway is completely empty, a young woman appears standing on the side of the road. She's wearing a long white dress. Her hair covers most of her face, and she slowly raises her hand, asking for a ride. Most drivers think she's just someone stranded in the desert, so they stop. But the strange part happens after she gets inside the car. Drivers say she sits quietly in the back seat without saying a single word. And suddenly, the temperature inside the car becomes freezing cold. Some drivers try talking to her, but she never responds. And when they check the rearview mirror, her face is completely pale and her eyes look empty. But the most terrifying part, when drivers turn around to look at the back seat, she's no longer there. Yet the back door slowly opens, while the car is still moving, and something whispers from the darkness. You should have kept driving. A few years ago, a long-distance truck driver named Daniel Carter was driving through that same highway. It was almost 3 a.m. The road was empty, just endless desert and darkness. As Daniel's truck headlights cut through the fog, he suddenly saw someone standing on the side of the road. A woman, white dress, barefoot. Daniel slowed down. He knew the stories about the Highway 66 ghost, but he didn't believe in that stuff. So he stopped the truck and opened the passenger door. A woman slowly climbed inside and sat down. Her head stayed down the entire time. Daniel tried to be polite. "Where are you heading?" he asked. But she didn't answer. Not a single word. The truck kept moving down the empty highway. Then something strange happened. The temperature inside the truck dropped suddenly. Daniel could see his own breath in the air. He nervously looked at the woman. Her head slowly turned toward him. For a moment, he could see her face. Her eyes were completely black. Daniel panicked and slammed the brakes. But when he looked back at the seat, the woman was gone. Only one thing remained. Wet footprints leading toward the back of the truck. Daniel's heart was pounding. Those wet footprints were fresh, and they were leading toward the back of the truck. But that was impossible. No one could reach the trailer while the truck was moving at that speed. Still shaking, Daniel pulled the truck over on the side of the empty highway. The desert around him was completely silent. No cars, no lights, just darkness. He grabbed his flashlight and slowly stepped out of the truck. The cold wind made the highway signs rattle quietly. Daniel walked toward the cargo trailer. The metal door at the back looked normal, locked just the way he left it. But something was wrong. Water was slowly dripping from the bottom of the trailer door. Daniel froze. He hadn't been carrying anything liquid that night. With trembling hands, he unlocked the heavy metal latch. The trailer door slowly creaked open. Daniel pointed the flashlight inside. At first, everything looked empty. Then the light moved across the floor, and Daniel saw something that made him step back in horror. The entire trailer floor was covered with wet footprints. Hundreds of them, all leading to the far end of the trailer. And standing in the darkness was the same woman in the white dress, slowly lifting her head and smiling. Daniel couldn't move. The woman in the white dress was standing inside the trailer, completely still. For a moment, he thought his mind was playing tricks on him. Then suddenly, she started walking toward him. Slow, silent. Daniel slammed the trailer door shut and jumped back into the truck. His hands were shaking as he started the engine and sped down the highway. He didn't stop driving until he reached the next gas station. Inside the station, the old cashier noticed Daniel looked terrified. When Daniel told him what happened on the highway, the old man's face turned pale. He slowly said, "You picked her up, didn't you?" Daniel nodded. The old man sighed and pointed toward a dusty newspaper hanging on the wall. It was an old article from 1987. The headline read, "Young woman killed on Highway 66 after hitchhiking." The article explained that a girl named Emily Carter was murdered by a driver who picked her up late at night. Her body was never found. Since that night, drivers on that same highway have reported seeing a woman in a white dress asking for a ride. The old man looked Daniel straight in the eyes and said something chilling. "She's not trying to get home. She's trying to find the man who killed her." Daniel left the gas station feeling uneasy. The old man's words kept repeating in his head. "She's still looking for the man who killed her." The highway was empty again. Just darkness, fog, and the sound of the truck engine. Daniel tried to shake it off. "Ghost stories, that's all it is," he muttered. But something felt wrong. The temperature inside the truck suddenly dropped. Daniel rubbed his hands and looked at the road. Then something strange caught his eye. In the rear-view mirror. At first, he thought it was just the fog. But when he looked closer, his blood ran cold. Pale face was staring back at him from the mirror. Wet hair, dark hollow eyes. It was Emily. Daniel slammed the brakes and turned around. The road behind him was empty. No one there. He took a deep breath and looked back at the mirror again. This time, Emily was smiling, and suddenly a whisper filled the truck cabin. "I found him." Daniel slowly looked down at the newspaper article lying on the passenger seat. Under the headline, there was a small photo of the killer. Daniel froze, because the man in that photo looked exactly like him.